And welcome everybody to episode 30 of Comic Confidential, the weekly podcast where we bring you the week's comic-related news, views, and reviews. I'm your host, Kade, and with me, as always, is Troy.
Hello.
G'day. And because we just can't get enough of her, Amy.
Hello.
How you doing?
Great.
Yet.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of her yet.
One day I'll just disappear mysteriously.
Yeah, it'll be like, whatever happened to that Amy girl that used to come on the show sometimes? Like, who?
Yeah, what
That
are you
never
talking
happened.
about?
And then we just edit all of her pieces out.
It's like I never existed.
It might make no sense, but we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do
we'll
it.
do it one day for sure. What's been happening, everybody?
We got some pretty cool stuff going on in our home state.
Yeah,
we do. Actually, we got some cool ass stuff happening. Thor Ragnarok is filming
Our
here
boys.
currently.
The boys.
Just down the road, kind of.
Down the road, 2,000 kilometers.
2,000 kilometers. No, it is. It's within the state. It's good. It's cool. It's great for down in that area. But man, like this is probably one of the biggest things we've had in like the Brisbane area, we'll call it, in quite some time.
Well, didn't they just recently shoot Pirates of the Caribbean down there?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but no one really gives a shit about Pirates of the Caribbean 18.
Johnny Depp was there.
Yeah, Johnny Depp was there, and
And
he broke
brought
the
his
law.
dogs in illegally.
Yeah, what a dickhead.
Well,
Needless to say, they won't be back. So
they probably won't be back. Well, they won't be back together.
yeah,
Anyway,
no.
definitely not.
Scandal. We don't talk about Scandal
No.
here on the show.
You're all scandal.
Well, yeah. But yeah, so we've got so Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Mark Ruffalo, I believe.
He was in
Yeah.
Cairns.
Yeah,
he
he
was in
actually
Cairns.
here.
We tried to get him on the show. He totally didn't get back to us.
Totally dissed us on Twitter.
Oh, man.
I feel like it's just because he's super busy.
Yeah.
You know, and he like reached out and he's like, oh, you know, those guys, I'd love to, but I mean, I've just got so much hulking out to do.
Totally.
guess.
And, you know, we also missed the boat on Alicia Silverstone. She was here too.
Oh, was
yeah,
she?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember
What was she doing here?
I don't know.
Being Alicia Silverstone.
Oh,
Just
just totally being clueless.
Yeah. I'm clueless to what she was doing.
Good one.
Should have used
Terrible
that.
puns.
Should have used that.
Should have used that. Cool. Okay. Well, if that's all we've got about Thor Ragnarok,
I mean,
the
I could
most
talk-
exciting thing.
I could talk all day
to happen.
about that.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's causing a bit of a scene down where it is.
Downtown Brisbane.
Downtown Brisbane. They've got quite a bit of stuff going on. Don't really know what's happening, where like what it, I guess, is part of, if that makes sense.
I saw some like old school cabs
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
extras.
okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there could be anywhere with cabs, so
Yeah, that's true.
doesn't give much
Okay,
away.
Excellent. Fantastic. That's an inside scoop.
There was
Thor
cabs.
Ragnarok is going to have some sort of old cab in
Yeah.
it or something.
You heard
Yeah.
it here first.
You heard it
Chris
here first.
Hemsworth and an old cab.
Sweet.
Fantastic.
Shall we just move on?
Let's
Yep.
move on. Let's thank some people, Troy.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, everyone, for listening to us, subscribing, reviewing, all that sort of stuff that you lovely people do. We really appreciate it.
And sharing it with your friends.
oh,
that
yeah,
helps
do
the
that.
show
Yeah,
too.
Okay, share with your friends. Tell your mum and dad.
Tell them, mate.
Yeah, tell a mate. Tell the lady down the road.
Tell your CrossFit group if you're into that.
Tell your cab driver.
Yeah.
Tell your cab driver. Tell Chris Hemsworth if
Yeah.
you see him when you're in the Brisbane area.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, make sure you follow us on Facebook at Comic Confidential Podcast, Instagram and Twitter at Comic Con Pod. We are also on YouTube. Just search Comic Confidential and hit the subscribe button. We have a website, Kade.
Yes, that's comicconpod.com. Got the Patreon. That's patreon.com/comicconpod. And we have a loot crate. Get some cool shit in the bloody crate
Yeah.
from
Who
our show
doesn't want
notes.
that?
Who doesn't love loot and crates mixed together?
I know
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're also a network. Check out the other show on our network, The Advisory. If you ever need some sound, solid advice, these are the boys to go to.
Definitely, 100%.
Yep.
We can vouch for every single piece of advice they've ever given, ever.
It's great advice.
Top-notch, top-quality stuff. Check them out. They're available on iTunes. Just search The Advisory, and also check them out on Twitter as well, at Advisory Podcast.
Also on our website as well.
Oh,
They've
yeah,
got
there's
their own little tab and page.
They do.
Yeah,
Excellent.
fantastic.
News.
News.
News time. Lots of news. Big
So
news.
much.
Got some big Mary Jane controversy going on at the moment.
Mary Jane Watson. Look, so Zendaya, who I'm pretty sure none of us still really know who she is.
I know who she is.
Oh, do you?
She was in a Taylor Swift bloody music video.
Oh my god, I'm
And
sure she's
like
done a lot
model.
more than that.
She's a model or something.
or something.
Yeah. All right. So
Sorry if you're listening, Zendaya.
So as I said, none of us know who Zendaya is. But anyway, so she was rumored to play a character of Michelle, but it has been leaked / officially confirmed that she will now be playing, in fact, Mary Jane Watson in Spider-Man Homecoming. And once again, the internet that we love so much has chucked the mega shits, hasn't it?
Of course.
They
it has.
always do, man. The internet is just full of haters drinking the haterade.
Yeah. Fully taking
Keyboard
sips.
warriors.
Yeah, look, I don't really... I guess let's take it out of my hands and let's put it in the words of James Gunn, who I believe has probably said it best in a little statement that he released. And I'll just sort of like paraphrase, as it were. But he says, for me, if a character's primary attribute, the thing that makes them iconic, is the color of their skin or their hair color, frankly, that character is shallow and sucks. For me, what makes MJ MJ is her alpha female playfulness. And if the actress captures that, then she'll work. And for the record, I think Zendaya even matches what I think of as MJ's primary physical characteristics. She's a tall, thin model, much more so than actresses have in the past. So, and he makes a very good point, and I think there's been so much casting over the past however long that's caused a bit of controversy.
Always.
But yeah, he makes a very good point. A character should not be defined by the color of their skin or the color of their hair. Because honestly, how is that even a character that any of us would care about if that's all they come down to?
Yeah, that's right. You're just in love with a prototype.
Exactly.
Well, like I understand, I guess, in the sense that these are characters that people have grown up with in a certain way, and expect them to look a certain way. But man, this is 2016. You've got to move on.
Yeah,
you've got to like get with the times and look. If she does a good job, that's all I care about.
Yep.
Personally.
Agree.
yeah, definitely.
Cool. Glad
think
we're
she
all on the
will
same
too.
page.
Yeah.
Oh, look, again, I don't know any of her work, but I have 100% complete faith.
Yeah. And if you don't adapt, you die. So let's go, people.
Darwin's theory. Bam.
Yeah, but on Spider-Man Homecoming as well, just moving on, there was a leaked cast sheet as well that also leaked around the same time that all this happened. And another actor, Bokeem Woodbine, has been apparently named as the Shocker.
Yes.
So that looks like whether he's going to be the main villain or one of the main villains, like who knows how he'll actually play a part. But yeah, that could be interesting. And it looks like young Angourie Rice is going to be Betty Brant, who, for those of you who may not know who that is, she's a future co-worker of Peter's at the Bugle.
There you go. Big players.
Big players.
Hey, we missed this by like literally hours last week.
Yeah, we did.
And I was fucking pissed off about it.
Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, right. No, the Guardians of the Galaxy have been confirmed to be in Infinity Wars.
Yeah, they
And holy shit, man, was I excited.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I don't know, though, and I haven't read any further into it, but I don't know that it's been officially confirmed by the Russo brothers or the studio.
Nah, man, you can't doubt Vin Diesel.
You can't doubt
He
the
knows
Diesel.
his shit.
Yeah,
Don't
man.
doubt the Diesel. Hashtag don't doubt
He's
the
got
Diesel.
Chronicles, man.
He does. Yeah, but basically he kind of went on a little bit of a live Facebook, thing that people do on Facebook when they
Yeah.
go live, whatever those things are called.
Live feeds?
Live feeds, that's the one. Yeah, so he went on one of those, and he happened to announce that he's very excited, blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff, and kind of dropped the ball for the studio, as it were.
Do you think, how many of those executives threw their phone at the wall?
Oh,
Many.
all of them.
They would have been fucking furious about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's probably something they would have liked to have played pretty close to their chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome though.
Yeah.
The cast is ever expanding. Still, the Russo brothers are still playing quiet on a couple of characters. They kind of refuse to confirm whether Captain Marvel will play a part.
Of course you will be.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Absolutely.
This
So you
movie
think-
just gets better.
Well, you think we'll see her before we see her in a solo movie? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
All right,
little
you heard it here first from Kate.
Prelude, or what are they called?
Prelude?
Prelude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Remains to be seen. I, for one, am super excited for that friggin' movie. Another news thing that we missed,
Yeah.
just by the skin of our teeth,
Story of our life here at the moment.
Yeah, but this is something that I did want to talk about because I think it's pretty cool and it does play into what we're talking about today and all that sort of stuff. But the return of the Cape Crusaders, so the animated feature starring Adam West, Burt Ward, and Julie Newmar. This is cool as shit.
Yeah, have you seen the concept for this? Like the concept art?
Yeah, but have you seen the trailer?
No, I haven't seen the trailer.
I've only seen
Fantastic. Excellent. Because the trailer's pretty cool. Like it's only obviously just a trailer, a little snippet of what's to come. But just to see them back, it's awesome, man. I think it's going to be cool as shit. So look out for that one. Hopefully a little bit of redemption from the Killing Joke.
Next item of news, we've got Riri Williams as Ironheart.
Yeah. So she has so obviously in the Invincible Iron Man, she was the next to take on the mantle.
The protege, the 15-year-old genius.
That's right.
She looks cool as fuck too.
Yeah,
she does look cool. The suit looks cool as shit.
Yeah, it does.
I think so. And they've gone with the name Ironheart, which I'm not 100%
I don't know where
sold
it's
on necessarily,
come
but
from.
well, you know, she has a heart like of iron, but by which there is no, I've got nothing. I genuinely have nothing.
I'm sure it will become clear as we see
Yeah,
more.
well, look, I think it's all in the name, really,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
I think the character will be great. I think it's great for the book. I think it's great for the Invincible Iron Man, and I'm really glad that they didn't how do I put this? They didn't kind of womanize the suit,
Yeah.
if that's a thing. Like, you know, there's no breastplates or
Yeah,
anything like
that's
that.
exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's
It wasn't overly sexualized or anything like that.
yeah, which is cool, man. It's like it's a strong female character, and she's got like a strong kick-ass looking suit, and I think the book's going to go. I think it's going to be great. I think she's going to be a great addition.
Yeah.
For sure. So this one is very exciting for me. This next bit of news, as it were, looks like we're set to get a live action Justice League Dark after all.
Yes, that's so awesome. You know, I think this is because of the warm reception, I guess, to the Justice League Dark animated movie.
Yeah.
The hype that was around that. So.
Well, not that that's been released yet, but
No,
you know,
but just the hype that was already generated from that.
yeah, and it was a project that was always in the works, and Guillermo del Toro, I believe his name is pronounced, the director of Pacific Rim and Pan's Labyrinth, was initially attached to it.
Yep.
He stepped away but continued on with the script. We've spoken about it before on the show. But Doug Liman has joined on to direct, and this is kind of like one of those double-edged swords in the sense that it's awesome news because he's the director of Edge of Tomorrow, which was cool as shit, with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, if you've seen it. But he was also the director attached to Gambit.
Man, that movie is never going to get off the ground.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, I honestly don't think it'll happen. I think at some point, you know, they're probably going to scrap it. I think this is the second, maybe even third.
I think it's the third time, man.
Director that they've kind of gone through, and then there were some casting problems with Channing Tatum and all that sort of stuff. So that's the bad side of the news. But the good side of the news is Justice League Dark, live action. Doug Liman, awesome director. Who do you want as Constantine? Go.
Oh shit! Why you
Put you on the
On the
spot.
spot.
Matt McConaughey?
Who was that? Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, what man?
As
You
Constantine.
scared me for a minute there. I was
Yeah,
like,
I was
where
like,
have you
Well, you
been
said
living?
Matt. Like you threw me for.
Oh yeah, we're buddies. I can call
Oh
him.
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. Matei.
Matei.
Mateus. Okay. Matthew McConaughey. Terrible choice. Who have you got?
Mate, you put me on the spot.
I don't know. This is tough. Now I know why you spat out Matt
Yeah.
McConaughey.
He looks like him.
Yeah.
Don't say no. You know he fucking does.
You know who I would pick?
Who?
Kellen Lutz.
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
my
even know
God.
who that is.
No and no.
Well, who
What
would
about
you
it?
pick?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I don't see why it can't be Matt Ryan for
Well,
starters.
yeah, of course.
So I think that's a good option. I think, and this is the person who was originally attached to it. I still agree with the original potential casting of Colin Farrell.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, now everyone remembers all the stuff that happened.
What about
Well, you
Keanu
put us on the
Reeves?
spot. Yeah,
No,
just
well,
bring
no,
him back.
yeah.
Just bring
no.
him back to do another
Look,
one.
the movie was entertaining, but it wasn't exactly Constantine, was it?
No, it was a bit different actually.
It's a
Yeah,
bit
not by a
boring.
long shot. But I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just but Colin Farrell, I think would be pretty cool. Let us know who you think actually out there in the world of the internet. Who would you cast as the live action Constantine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
sticking with DC here,
Yeah.
we've got some Flash news.
Ooh.
Season 3, not the movie, the rival has been casted. Now, the leaked pictures has not been Savitar. Everyone was wrong.
Well, no. Because I thought, well, okay, yes, that's true. So the picture that we saw of the black,
The black suited
yeah.
speedster.
yeah, because the reports came out that they had actually cast for that, and you know I can't even remember the guy's name because it was debunked within a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is cool. So
Yeah, he's from Vampire Diaries, the guy who's playing the rival. I don't know his name for the life of me.
Oh, now I need to know who it is.
Oh, there you go. But anyway, this opens up the some ideas for what's happening this season.
okay, what do you think?
Well, because Savitar is still happening, and I don't know, have you seen the trailer for the season yet?
Yes,
Yes. So we have got him doing the speed cult here.
right.
So what's going to happen is where apparently there's going to be 4 speedsters,
Yeah.
which we already kind of know. We've seen them all.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have all the good guys and all the bad guys teaming up to beat Savitar.
Ah, so you think so? So it's 4 plus Savitar? Is that what you're saying?
4 plus Savitar. So
Okay.
I don't know if he's actually confirmed as a speedster yet. Maybe that's why he's got this speed force cult to get himself some speed force into his
that's-
sweet veins.
Yeah, that's original, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, but this will be a unique twist on the same story essentially.
Well, wasn't season 2 a unique twist on season 1 story?
Yes. But we know the Flash. Why change a good
Well,
thing?
look, it's nothing against the Flash. I actually really enjoy the show. It is good. Hoping to see something different to some speedster bad guys again.
Yeah.
But look, I'll give it a chance. Of course, I'll give it a chance. Like I'm willing to, for sure.
Yeah, some bad guys, some good guys teaming up.
Yeah.
Be fantastic.
I just
Excellent.
found out who that guy is.
Oh yeah,
So,
a little bit of googling.
Yeah, so his name's Todd Lasance, and he's actually born in Australia.
Oh, good on him.
Oh, we'll get him on the show.
Yeah,
he
for
played,
sure.
Julian in the Vampire Diaries, just in case anyone was wondering.
Never
Season
heard
7.
of
Season 7, I'll just
Yep.
write that down.
Yeah.
Do not fucking watch that.
never heard of any of them. Cool. Thanks,
cool.
Amy. That was really good.
No worries.
And I guess the last bit of news. Let's throw it to you, champ.
Yep, so the last bit we've got is the Captain Marvel director shortlist has been revealed, and there's some pretty cool names on there.
Yes, there are some names on there.
There sure is.
I said they're cool.
Yeah, okay.
So we've got
Cool sounding.
Cool sounding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nikki Caro, I guess
Yep.
I would say her name, from Wow Rider.
Yep.
Coming along. So that could be
Great
pretty,
movie. That's good.
Visually enticing, I guess.
Yep. There was a whale in that movie, I think.
Boy, did it get rid of him.
Have you guys seen that movie?
Negative.
Not at all.
you
look-
should. It's a great movie.
It's on my watch list, right after I finish
Yeah.
Silicon Valley and then Stranger Things.
and
And,
then-
Stranger Things is amazing, and you should watch it.
yeah, it's on my list.
God damn it, Kate.
Okay.
Get on Stranger Things.
Anyway, we've also got Leslie Linker Glatter.
So she's done some TV directing.
Yes, so she did The Walking Dead,
Yep.
which
So
is my favourite show ever.
isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
I can see the excitement in your face as you speak.
Yay.
Yep.
And then we've got Lorene Scafaria, who apparently worked on Seeking a Friend for the End of the World.
Which is actually a pretty good movie, I thought.
I've never actually seen that one,
Yeah.
so maybe I'll put that on my list.
None of them are real, this kind of big budget, big special
No.
effects.
Yeah,
all
they're
that
kind
sort
of
stuff.
like the just above indie film directors.
Yeah,
here.
sort of
probably.
small town,
But that's good. That's good for a story. And the visuals can just come from that. Like, I mean, how hard is it to create? Well, okay, I apologize to everyone who works in that industry and, pours their heart and soul into it. But, I feel like, getting the story and getting the characters right and, the direction of those people is probably what's going to make this movie. And we do have some pretty exciting writers
I
of
think
the script.
more so.
Yeah,
than-
more exciting than
Yes.
the directors.
Yeah, well, nothing against them, but
No,
it
of
is
course
more
not.
exciting.
They're just unknowns, to us. I'm sure they're very well known within their field.
Yeah.
So who have we got writing?
So we've got Nicole Perlman, who worked on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep, that's
and
cool.
then Meg LaFauve, I guess, who worked on Inside Out, which has won a shitload of awards.
Yeah, that's a funny movie.
It's
man.
a
I've
great
never
movie.
even seen it.
You
Really?
add it to the list.
Do you even watch movies?
Yeah, what are you
I've-
doing?
what is? Stop watching Mad Men. Like,
Again and
move
again.
I'm rewatching it.
Yeah, I've gone back to the start. So yeah, look, that's really cool. And there was obviously a little bit of controversy, I guess. As look, these are much loved, characters. Again, like I said it earlier, that people have grown up with and all that sort of stuff. And a lot of people they tend to get pissy, as it were, when people start to mess around with said character. They're changing the origin of Carol Danvers a little bit, Captain Marvel, because it is very similar to Green Lanterns.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's true.
So what they're doing is they're trying to differentiate a little bit. So there will be some changes. So it won't necessarily be the exact cut for cut story. But look, I mean, these people are professionals and we're not. So I'll leave it into their hands.
They know what they're doing.
And that's going to bring us to the weekly wrap, the segment where we wrap up all the week's TV action, starting off this week with the only TV show that we have, Fear the Walking Dead with Grotesque.
Yes.
It's back.
It is back. And it's back with not so much of a bang.
Yeah, like a small...
Not with a bang, but with a whimper.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Actually,
Poetic
no.
and
A whimper's
shit.
like perfect.
Yeah.
Because that's all bloody Nick did was whimper around this episode.
Read the synopsis.
Read the synopsis.
Bring the
he says.
people in.
In a one-man episode, Nick takes a road trip to Tijuana, gets beat up by a girl, eats dog meat, and witnesses the darker side of humanity.
Ooh, deep.
And he did all of that.
He did. Yeah, look.
Covered in zombie guts the whole time.
Yeah, he loves it.
Man,
He loves it.
he loves that shit.
So yeah, it was a very Nick-heavy episode, but I will give them one thing. I think at this point in time, this is the only character that you could probably do a solo episode with and people would still care.
Yeah, he is the most interesting character on this show.
Yeah.
Between you and me and everybody listening and Amy,
Yep.
I wouldn't care if they didn't even revisit anyone else.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen because now that they've done this, it opens the door, and there is the possibility, and I think people have spoken about it. But this is kind of how they're going to focus the first part of the second part of the season, if that makes sense.
Really?
Yeah. So we're probably going to get a lot of these like little one shots, and that is like terrible.
Yeah,
in the sense
it
of,
is. Everyone's journey until
think about-
this happened with The Walking Dead not too long ago. They based nearly a whole season around 2 days.
They did, and this isn't the way. I just want to point out that means at some point that's going to give us a Travis and Cliff hour-long episode.
Yeah.
And I tell you what,
Oh, can't fucking wait.
I will be wishing I was one of The Walking Dead because that's going to be boring as fuck. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah.
If they do it, look, they could surprise me. Chances are they absolutely won't. But yeah, this is I think this isn't the way to bring in like the second part of the season. I don't think personally.
Yeah, okay. You see, I didn't actually mind the episode. I thought it was actually quite entertaining.
See, I would say in parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
No,
Oh,
that's fine.
I'm just chiming
Yeah,
in.
yeah. Well, I thought it was quite good the whole way through. Even though it wasn't the most exciting, you probably heard about 10 minutes of dialogue in the whole episode.
Yeah, and that's probably all the flashbacks.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. I think you get a much more emotional connection with Nick.
Yeah, but I get it. Like, and I get what they're trying to do, but like, you've just come off a massive break. Like, is that how you want to bring it in? Like off a break? Like, I feel like you've got to remind people as to why they're watching this show.
Yeah,
and that's probably not the way to do it.
Yeah. Oh no, I absolutely understand. This could have been the second episode back. I think your first episode back, you probably want to be a little bit more showy.
Well, remember on The Walking Dead when everybody thought Glenn died?
Yes,
which he never did. I never thought for a second that he was dead. But anyway.
man, you like texted me.
No,
and,
fuck
like,
off, I did.
You had like crying emojis, and you're like, Glenn's gone.
My life is over.
I can't believe he's gone.
They really did it.
That was the least convincing on-screen death I've ever seen in my life. But moving on from that, the very next episode, like after that, the very next episode was, I think it was an entire episode devoted to the backstory of Morgan.
Yes.
And, it's just, you can't sort of go from that level to that level. And I think that's kind of what this has done, but it's also done it with a massive break in between, which is, it's probably not the best way. But it did have some cool parts. Like, don't get me wrong. It did have some cool parts. Some grotesque parts, as it were. the name of the
Funny
show.
that.
Look, I thought some of the cinematography itself was actually really good.
Yeah, actually, this episode, it reminded me a lot of Breaking Bad with how well it was shot.
Yeah,
Especially a lot of desert settings.
Convincing.
And that could be just because there was a lot of desert settings.
yeah, I'd say so. I'd say that's all it was. That
Was
reminded you
there
of that.
a meth lab?
Well, I did see a motorhome in this episode, and I was like,
Oh,
Yeah, hey,
crossover
actually,
time.
crossovers.
Yeah.
You never know.
hey,
They have done it.
It's happened before.
Look, I think I did get into the setting. I thought the desert setting was good, and I think that harsh environment worked really well for this kind of story of survival. I did read somewhere on the internet that someone sort of said, "Oh, it's basically like The Revenant but with zombies." That's taking it probably a bit too far, but I get where they're going. You know, it was a pretty good survival story, as it were.
I thought this was Bear Grylls in The
More
Walking
Bear
Dead.
Grylls, more Bear Grylls. But yeah, there was a lot of that kind of stuff. There's like the drinking of his own pee, which was, you know, I mean, you got to do it,
You
right?
got to do what you got to do.
There was also some the dogs. Obviously,
dogs.
the dogs get eaten.
Yeah.
And then Nick eats the dogs because he's hungry. Like, what are you going to do?
Actually,
Not
like-
eat the dogs.
Well, no, these dogs are dickheads.
Oh,
They're like
were they?
dickhead
Okay.
dogs.
Yeah, man, I
All
love
right.
dogs, but these dogs are just like they're like hood dogs, man.
Yeah, they were looking for
Gangster dogs.
They're looking for trouble, man.
these dogs were dead set dickheads.
Yeah.
Let
Right.
me say, if dogs could be classified as dickheads, these two were the biggest.
But you know,
But they get eaten, so
yeah,
fuck
they
'em.
get eaten, and then Nick goes over and eats them too. Now, would you eat something that a zombie just ate?
No.
Yeah, and that's a very good point that I didn't even think of until you said it. Because one of my next points is the terrible writing that was actually a part of this episode.
Yeah.
Because I did want to focus on some of the good, and you know that was for me. That's the cinematography, and yeah, we got to see a little bit of Nick's backstory and you know his detachment from his dad and all that sort of stuff, and that's great. But yeah, I did not even think of that because you would assume that that's some
There's
contaminated
saliva
meat.
for sure.
Yeah,
What,
yeah,
what
exactly.
causes everything.
So I don't really know how that plays off, but let's just get into it then. Let's
Okay.
talk about you know the terrible writing or some of the things. So for me, and I know movies and TV shows do this shit all the time, but it frustrates the shit out of me. So the dogs. So
Yeah.
Nick is sleeping on the ground, and first off, he's sleeping on the fucking ground. Like I know he's like exhausted, but you'd think, okay, you should probably get yourself to some safe kind of area. There are zombies fucking everywhere.
At least get under the shade, mate.
Yeah, right. So anyway, so he passes out or whatever he does, and the dogs just, you know, maybe they're not complete assholes because they barked at him for like 10 hours, like as he woke until he woke up.
Yeah.
And then they decided to attack.
Right.
It's like, yeah, like this guy is harmlessly asleep. Oh, look, he's awake now. Time to attack.
Yeah.
So that for me, terrible writing. If
Well-
you're writing for dogs,
To be fair, those dogs,
You better check yourself.
yeah,
those dogs could have just shown up, like just as they started barking.
no.
Mate,
There's no context for that whatsoever.
But
It
there's no
seemed like they
context.
were there for fucking ever.
I don't see how they
10
were.
hours.
Because you could tell they were starting to get like husky throats
Oh,
from
yeah.
barking for so long. Okay, this one for me was the biggest fuck of a writing fuck up or whatever. I don't even have words to describe it.
It's so frustrating.
Okay, so you know Nick is amongst the walkers, and that was
Yeah.
played off pretty cool, and we'll talk about that soon. So Nick is amongst the walkers, and he's obviously been bitten by this dog, and he comes across these Mexican gangsters or whatever they are, Las Manas or something. I think the lady from the start called them. But anyway, so so old mate, he gets out of his car.
This is like a scene at a Scream.
Oh, no, it's somebody, and I can't remember who said it, but they said it perfectly. So let me explain the scene
Okay,
first, and then
Set the scene.
Yeah, I'll set the scene. So old mate is like, oh my god, you know, there's like all these walkers, they're like 20 meters away or whatever, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to shoot the shit out of some of these things. So he shoots the shit out of some of them, and he's got his friend who's got his like assault rifle, and he's doing the same thing and all that sort of stuff. Then the guy kind of like sort of seems to see that Nick is probably human, and I don't know what he does then because he drops all his bullets and then spends the next 5 minutes of his life gathering all his fucking bullets to put back in his gun, only to be eaten
While doing it.
Yeah, because the zombies were like 40 kilometers away, and he's given them enough time to catch up and actually bite him instead of just casually. You don't even have to run, champ.
Yeah, just pick your
casually,
bullets
just
up.
yeah, walk away. Just
Yeah.
walk away. Live to see another day, and just fucking walk away. I don't know what the point of any of that was.
Yeah, that
To
was
be
weird.
honest,
To me, it was super super lazy.
that's why I don't watch this show.
Look, it's not like that all the time, but what someone actually compared it to is, remember Austin Powers and the I think it's the steamroller, and it's like the guy that's like screaming.
He's like, no.
Yeah, exactly that.
I know it.
So you know, I think that's a perfect analogy for that particular scene because that was fucking ridiculous.
It was. It really actually. The zombie steamroller's coming for you. Move out of the way, mate.
Yeah, just move out of the way.
All right. Here's another thing.
Yeah.
Nick is like parched as fuck, man. Needs a chapstick like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's all these cars. There's a guy who's still alive in a car.
Oh, don't even fucking get me started.
How is he alive?
Because he's just like some old dude, and he's just like, I don't give a shit, man.
Yeah.
God.
But he doesn't even try any of these cars.
Like seriously, you are on the verge of death. You're telling me you're not going to... There is 40,000 cars around you. You're not going to try one of them?
If somebody was in that situation and walked past my car, there'd be 30 water bottles in there.
Well,
They would
and-
survive.
But that's the thing. He does actually find one. He opens a car door, probably the only fucking one that's got a zombie in it.
Yes.
And finds like a little bottle of water on the ground and like has a drink. But like at some point, man, you can actually fucking just drive the car.
Exactly.
Air conditioning?
Yeah.
For one, like,
Anyone?
fucking- what else you got? Okay, and one last thing. Look, there was like a couple of things about this. When he actually gets attacked by the lady with the baseball bat, when he's just lying in this abandoned house or whatever it is that he's doing, I'm concerned. That again, he's just left himself out kind of in the open. And he has no weaponry whatsoever, no knife, no nothing, anything like that. I don't know, man. If this is like a real sort of battle for survival, wouldn't you have your shit on you at all times ready to go? And B, even if that was the case where you got like swung at with a bat and you had to like roll out of the way and all that sort of stuff, wouldn't you fucking do your hardest to get your shit back?
Yep.
He just kind of bailed. He's just like, oh fuck it then. I don't need any of this shit.
But this whole episode was like with Nick like battling whether he wants to actually be alive or not.
Is that what you think it is though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel like he's well and truly made that decision. It's about him finding where he fits in.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I agree. You know, he's more at home among the dead
Yeah.
than he is with the living. So I'm sure in this episode when he was with the doctor, he said, oh, I belong with the dead.
Yeah, something like that, I think.
So is that him giving up on life, or is that him saying, I don't belong with people?
Yeah, I think he's more giving up on humanity, as it were, rather than his own life. But this is something that I don't really understand, and this is something that maybe you can clarify for me. But you know, I don't really understand how Nick was so quick to buy into Celia's way of thinking. But I can understand, okay. But if he's gone, you know, and we saw in his flashbacks how, you know, he's been abandoned by his father, effectively.
Yeah.
He was abandoned by his father, and then his father died, and he had this whole, you know, that's it, like, I'm left by myself or whatever.
Yeah.
And he kind of abandoned his family, who at no point ever gave up on him. You know, they kept trying to find him and bring him back and all that sort of stuff. So based on one woman, he's just gone, you know, actually, fuck this family.
Yeah.
This family that has done everything for me and the only family that I have left, he's kind of turned around based on this thought that the dead are, you know, as precious, as it were, as the people that are alive. And he didn't like the monsters, as it were, that his family was turning into. I just don't buy into it at all.
Yeah, it is. It's very weird.
And I guess the biggest part of it is that if he really, really did buy into it, why is he still so quick to kill them, to, you know, basically cover himself in their shit?
Well, yeah, that's true.
As it were. Like, if they were that precious, surely he'd just wait until he found one. Like, he wouldn't be actively going to kill them to, you know.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It's weird. It's a weird situation.
Yeah.
So we'll figure him out.
We'll figure him out. Look, the biggest question that I want to ask you,
okay,
knowing that you've read, you know, quite a large amount of the comics, do you think, in all honesty, and this was kind of in the scenario where Nick was in amongst the group of walkers, towards the end of the show, and he was kind of hallucinating. As it were, they were like kind of speaking to him and all that sort of stuff. Do you think that this is our first look at a whisperer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is absolutely how we're going to get these two shows to merge together.
Yep.
It won't happen this season. It'll happen maybe a season or two later.
Yep.
These timelines, it has been confirmed that they are going to match up eventually. This is how it's going to happen. Where we are in The Walking Dead, the normal series, we're at Hilltop. So after that comes the Whisperers.
Yeah. So those who are unfamiliar with the Whisperers?
The Whisperers, they're a gang of people who basically wear zombies. They cut their faces off, wear them, walk around in the crowd, and pretty much attack everyone.
Yeah, but they kind of they sympathize with the walkers as well, as it were.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they don't actually kill them.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting. And I think, when you look at the character of Nick and where he's headed,
it's very close to that. And I think he could be the ringleader to that. So
yeah,
that's going to be really interesting. I really hope they go down that path.
Yeah, for sure. You obviously liked it a little bit more than I did.
Yeah.
Do you want to give it a rating?
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't fantastic, but I mean, it wasn't the worst.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. About 10 minutes of words were said.
Yeah.
But it didn't make it a bad episode.
No, look, it doesn't always have to be about dialogue and all that sort of stuff. But look, for me, I don't know. I didn't mind the episode. I just don't think this is the way that you bring in, this show. And you can see again that this show at times suffers from terrible or lazy writing, which is unfortunate. I'd give it a 3. It wasn't like the worst thing I've ever seen or whatever.
Yeah.
It does return next week, thank God. Right. We get to keep talking about it with Los Muertos.
I'm Batman.
All right. So this week, Kade, Amy, and myself are tackling 3 of the biggest questions on everybody's lips. Just who exactly is the best on-screen Batman of all time? Who exactly is the best on-screen Joker of all time? And what would a movie look like with these 2 characters in it?
That's right. So what we did is we grabbed the list. So we've got West, Keaton, Bale, and Affleck for Batman, and Romero, Nicholson, Ledger, and Leto. Now, some people say Leto, some people say Leto.
It's Leto.
Is it Leto? What does he
I
say?
say Leto. I don't know.
Let her know.
Let
Leto
us
know how to say. Anyway, Leto. For the Joker. So we broke it up amongst the group, and each person is going to have a chance to rally for their actor and convince the rest of the group why they're the best and why they deserve to be in this Batman and Joker feature film, probably directed by Christopher Nolan.
You would say so.
Yep.
So from what we've seen so far. Keep in mind that we have kept it to live action only. So Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, and even Will Arnett won't get a mention. Rest assured, they are very well regarded within this particular circle.
Yes.
And also, we have left out Val Kilmer and George Clooney for fucking obvious reasons. Because they don't count for shit.
I tried to get a petition going. It had one signature, and that was my own.
Yeah.
It never got off the ground.
Look, if there are any Val Kilmer or George Clooney Batman fans out there, let us know why you believe he would be the best.
And we can disagree.
And good fucking luck to you. Okay, so we're going to kick it off. Kade, you have the latest of the Batman, Ben Affleck.
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let us know.
Let us know,
son.
Let you know.
What you got?
Well, what really needs to be said about this version of Batman? Honestly,
well, you'd probably
Something.
it's a podcast, so you'd probably want to say a lot.
He's seasoned, he's angry. In my humble opinion, he's the perfect Batman.
Really?
Yeah. This Batman has done his job.
Has he?
He's done his job. And he's done it well. He strikes fear into his foes. This is the one bat you do not want to cross. Is it because Batman kills? Maybe. Or is it because he brands you for society to take care of you?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
You've
Convincing.
intrigued me.
This Batman is scorned. One that is brooding. One that has a story to tell.
Well, can I just stop you for a sec?
No.
Is this poetry?
Yes, it
is
is.
like,
We've
is this a
walked
poem?
into a poetry slam.
Yeah.
You
It's a
have.
poetry
It's
slam,
a poetry
isn't it?
slam, and I'm slamming down hard, just like this Batman does.
Oh my god.
Man.
Yeah, no,
okay,
I'll
keep
pay
going.
that. That's
Yeah.
good.
He's extremely calculated. He knows everything that he needs to. He's jacked to the hills, man.
Yeah,
To the
he
hills.
is.
Fucking jacked as fuck.
Yep. Okay.
And he's geared up for any situation. He hasn't got the silly fucking yellow belt.
Yeah.
He ain't about that life.
that silly original type belt.
The comic
The comic belt? Maybe?
Comic belt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The utility belt?
You know what comic is? Comic's a joke, mate.
Okay.
Just like that
You
bloody
are
belt.
so full of them today.
You know, this Batman, he's dark. He lurks in the shadows and he pounces when ready. Ben Affleck is the Batman.
Oh,
Oh, my God.
That could be on the back of like a DVD.
Someone quote me on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's going on the Ultimate Edition.
It is. Ben Affleck is the Batman. Yeah, so that's great. Amy, you're next.
I
You've got
really don't
Christian
know
Bale.
how to follow up with
Well,
that.
just slam poetry,
mine's
man.
not, mine's
hard.
not poetry at all. We should have discussed this before.
What can I say? Maybe do a haiku.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Batman is real good.
Yeah.
I like Christian Bale the most. He is the Batman. There you go.
Oh, my
I
God.
fucking nailed it.
And I'm done.
Yeah.
No, so I'm not going to say it as fancy pants as you did, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just talking like that because it's the Batman?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, speaking of the voice, out of all the Batmans, it is my humble opinion that Christian Bale has the best voice.
Dead wrong.
Wrong. So
Now,
wrong.
listen here. He got a lot of criticism for the throat cancer voice.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
I actually like it.
Really?
Yeah, so Christian Bale as the Batman,
Yeah.
was probably one of...
It's not what he sounds like, by the way, but yeah.
I'm a lady, so it's a little bit difficult.
Lady Batman.
Lady Batman.
It's Batgirl.
Whatever.
Yeah, so when I was like coming across the Bat movies, I'd never really watched a lot of the previous ones, to
Yep.
be honest.
Yeah.
I'd only read comics and things like that and sort of steered clear. Christian Bale as the Batman drew me in with his... I guess he's a bit more sheltered in terms of comparing to Ben Affleck, like we so eloquently heard earlier. Now, I also find that his battle scenes, that battle scene with the Batman, Christian Bale, and Tom Hardy's Bane,
Yeah.
best battle scene in any of the Batman movies.
Is that the one where he gets his ass kicked?
Yes.
Yeah. No, best. Yeah,
So-
for sure.
So that's on the list.
Yeah, there's Batman's killing it.
Yeah. Oh, shut up. You know, we should have talked about poetry because I feel like this is very much less than what you've said. So I thought that, I've got here, Bale brought depth and menace to the character that I think we haven't seen before and probably haven't seen since. It's brilliant and practically Shakespearean. His performance made the Dark Knight movies the best telling of Bruce Wayne's story to date. Bam.
Oh, Bruce Wayne.
Mic drop, but
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
because
don't
you
drop
need
that.
it.
That's a new mic.
Yeah.
No, I should
Thank-
probably keep that.
Thank you to the Patreon
Yeah.
people.
Thank you.
I now sound good.
Are you done?
Yeah, well, I think so. I mean, it was tough, but I got there.
All right.
Oh, I should mention his jawline because that's great.
Yeah.
I don't know if
He has a
does,
great
He does have a
jawline.
jawline.
Out of all,
Did you see? I put on Facebook this week like why Batman only fights crime at night
Yes.
because he gets that weird tan line around his face.
yeah.
That was good. Very visual for the
Very
people
visual.
listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Perfect example.
It's on
Just use your
Facebook.
brain.
Go check it out. Is it me?
Yeah, I think so.
So I've got Michael Keaton.
Nice.
Michael Keaton's Batman, 1989 to 1992. He
Michael
reigned
Keaton
supreme.
yourself if you think you're going to win.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Like, how long have you been? How long did it take you to write that?
Waiting.
I wrote that while Amy was talking.
Well, anyway, from Michael Keaton, obviously from Batman and Batman Returns. I guess the first thing that I've got to say is this guy is the OG.
He is the OG.
He's the OG.
I'll give you that.
Like, sorry, Mr. West, as it were, but he is the original Batman. This is the guy that has effectively kicked off the movie Batman obsession for decades of young 20 to now 40 or 50 something year old males worldwide. He's got the yellow bat symbol, which is cool, I think. Because it's very classic.
it's super classic.
It's on your shirt. You're wearing a Batman shirt right now.
You're wrong.
And it is on there. I can
He's
see it.
very right.
And he's also got the yellow utility belt, which I think is pretty cool as well. His first line in the first movie, in Batman, is "I'm Batman." And
Has he really saying like, I'm Batman?
No, he doesn't. He says it like really cool. And you're just like, yeah, you are, son. You are fucking Batman for sure. Arguably the most realistic Batman voice, I would say, excluding Kevin Conroy, of course. But yeah, I would say the most realistic Batman voice. Even Ben Affleck has the voice modulator.
Yeah, he had the modulator, so
That changes it up. Christian Bale's was...
Throat cancer voice.
I fucking love The Dark Knight, man. Don't get me wrong, but that fucking almost ruined it.
Look, Yeah, okay, we'll discuss at the end.
Okay. Michael Keaton probably pulls off the kind of vague millionaire playboy Bruce Wayne better than anyone else, I would say.
He's a very mature one.
Well, yeah, he is, but that's the thing. Like, and this is another thing that makes him so good is that if you see him outside of the suit as Bruce Wayne, there is no way that you would ever believe that that guy is the fucking Batman. I think the suit kind of fills out the muscle and all that sort of stuff.
It's one of those extra padded ones.
Yeah, but like standing, as Bruce Wayne, you're like, yeah, that guy, So basically, what I'm saying is his secret identity is very, very safe with this guy in particular. If you've seen the movie recently, this guy has more fucking grappling hooks than any of your guys, for sure.
In a grappling hook battle, he would win.
He would totally win. He has like 1,700, I think he uses.
But they
at some
are
point.
weight rated.
Yes, they are, exactly. And what's her name? Kim Basinger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lies about her weight.
Yes, she does.
Yeah. He's
That
like, you don't
bitch.
weigh 108 pounds or whatever. So his Batman, and this is something that I thought was pretty cool about Michael Keaton's Batman in particular. So his Batman was it was dark, but it was still sort of comical a little bit. So without being over the top camp or, without being too ridiculously dark, he kind of still had a sort of a sense of humor that Michael Keaton would bring to that character. He did very well considering he couldn't fucking move his neck whatsoever. And I think he's, I'm not going to say he's the most athletically gifted Batman of the lot.
Because that would be Christian Bale.
That probably would be,
Nah.
I'd
How
say,
old is Ben Affleck? Come on.
it doesn't matter.
Hey, he's old enough.
I would say
enough to party.
best fighter would be Ben Affleck, if we're talking about the Batman.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Michael Keaton kind of tends to favor like the old right cross and a bit of a side kick here and like that sort of thing there. I think he does a front kick at one point and then just relies all on his gadgets. But I guess the biggest thing that you can rally for this guy is the fact that he is the fucking original. The original big time movie Batman. And if it wasn't for him, you motherfuckers wouldn't even have your Batman.
Yeah, you're wrong, mate.
So there's that.
Okay.
All right.
But does being OG really make you the big dog?
It makes you the alpha.
I don't think it makes you alpha. I think it makes you the old horse that gets taken out to the paddock and put down.
Oh, okay.
Talking smack.
All right, well, let's talk about some OGs for a second, because let's talk about Adam West.
Yeah.
So Adam West, we're gonna rally for Adam West as a group because he's probably gonna need it. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, he was the comic books brought to life.
He was.
Yeah, and this kind of happened in a period where comic book sales were drastically dropping.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, and like Adam West and Burt Ward, you came together on screen for this very, very camp, very 60s stylized, like Batman and Robin.
Yep.
And it just turned the tables.
Yeah, it
everybody
did.
fucking loved it at that particular time.
And it's still like a cult classic these days.
Yeah. It doesn't exactly do what you would say is stand the test of time.
No,
as it were.
But you say that, but you know what does stand the test of time and will always stick in people's minds?
What?
Is the original Batmobile from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
For sure. That was like the coolest thing. When I was a kid, that was the fucking toy I wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Me too.
So I think that's really good. I think that it's obviously like here we are, like however many years later, 50-something years later or something
Was it
since
the
this.
60s or
Yeah,
something?
I'm pretty sure. So 50-something years later from when this aired, and they are literally coming back together to make the Return of the Caped Crusader,
Yeah.
which is fucking cool.
And not only did it have all this going for it, right?
Yeah.
It also turned around the shark repellent spray industry.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah, I had to have me some of that.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that I liked the most about this particular Batman was this is the guy that, there are literally scenes of him in a nightclub kind of setting where he's just kind of resting against the bar and the bartender's like, "Oh, what can I get you, Batman?" He's like, "Oh, nothing for me. I'm working." And,
Kapow!
yeah. And, the Joker and his goons would rock up, and then, and then the most iconic thing, as you just mentioned, is the big on-screen flashes of Pow and Biff and
Oof.
Bam, Oof.
Zap, zip.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So as much as, you can say he probably doesn't rate, as the best Batman, like the coolest one, as it were.
He has that. There's a soft part in your heart for
You can't
him.
not like him
Yeah.
as Batman.
Well,
guess.
well and truly.
Yeah.
It was very camp, very fun, but
Very of its time.
very
Yeah.
of its time.
Yeah.
But look, to rally for him, that is the original. That's the
prankster.
original, for sure.
For sure.
All right.
All right, so I guess we now have to somehow get together and decide a winner.
Well,
yeah. Well.
How can you go past some poetry slam down?
Well, look,
For some-
I probably, I might have voted for you until you did that.
Yeah.
What can you say, man? He is poetry.
Look, writing prose for Christian Bale was a little bit difficult, but I would tend to agree that Ben Affleck probably is the better.
Look, I love Christian Bale.
Me too.
Like,
Me too. Don't get me
honestly,
wrong.
if it wasn't for his, and I know there was talk that a lot of it was done in post production and all that sort of stuff. It wasn't necessarily as gravelly as he intended the voice to be. And I know, like we spoke about it last week, he copped a fair bit of criticism from Kevin Conroy in regards to the voice and all that sort of stuff. Well, we know that. That's fine. I really enjoyed Christian Bale as Batman.
I actually have a quote here regarding that voice thing.
Yeah.
This is from Christian Bale. He said, "If you look at the history of a guy, i.e. the Bat, and all the pain that he went through, I can't do this in a normal voice. I have to become a beast in order to sell this to myself."
Okay.
So that's why he then did the gravelly.
So
gravelly
he
voice.
couldn't even believe himself to be Batman, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's nice.
Well, that kind of answers that.
Yeah, I was just leaving that in the bag for when I pretty much cancelled my whole debate. So there you go.
Excellent. You just took yourself out of the race.
I
Fantastic.
did, but that's fine because I can accept that.
Look, as much as I do honestly believe that Michael Keaton is the original of them, and I did purposely go back for this and rewatch Batman and all that sort of stuff, and I think it's cool, and it still stands the test of time. Some 25 years or 26 or might even be close to 27 years later. 1989, I think it was. He just doesn't have the Ben Affleck's Batman. Ben Affleck's Batman is a dead set killer, literally.
Yeah.
But it's Frank Miller's Dark Knight. That's it, incarnate, basically, and that's very fucking cool. So, slam poetry aside, that was fucking terrible.
Yeah, don't ever do that again.
I will give it to Ben Affleck.
Fantastic. So that's going to take us to the Jokers now.
It is. So back to you.
Back to me.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, so I had Jack Nicholson,
Yep.
Joker.
Okay.
From the same movie that you just spoke about.
Apparently so.
Apparently so. And now, okay, this Joker, he was literally off the hook.
Yeah.
He was crazy now. He had his own catchphrases. He would randomly dance while he was doing just outlandish acts.
Can I say that shit me to tears?
Yeah, but that's kind of part of the charm of the Joker.
Yeah, okay, is it? But yeah.
Well, it is. It makes him a scene stealer.
Yeah.
And you can definitely see parts of the shinning in this Joker, in my opinion.
The shitting.
The
Yeah.
shinning.
All right.
He was so intense, and Jack Nicholson absolutely nailed it. He's a crazy but calculated psychopath.
Yep.
That is extremely irrational.
Yeah.
He literally doesn't give a fuck about what he's doing.
Yeah. See, can I disagree yet?
No, you can't.
Okay, all right. I'll wait till the end.
Keep it there.
Yeah, just
Keep
keep that
Okay.
shit in.
All right.
And in my opinion, he's definitely the closest in appearance to what we see in the comics.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
Yep.
He has the bleached white skin, the bright red lips, and has a kick-ass obsession for some velvet.
Yes,
Velvet.
he does. He does wear a very, very cool purple suit.
Yeah.
for sure.
He has actually quite a few in that movie.
Yeah, he does.
What else here? He starts off as a petty crook called Jack Napier, works his way up as the Jack Napier.
Jack Napier.
Is it Napier?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I thought you said Jack
Jack
Napier.
Jack
Or Jack Napier.
That guy.
Yeah.
And anyway, he ultimately gets set up by his boss. He's trying to work his way up through the underground and comes face to face with the Batman.
Yep.
Gets in a little bit of an altercation. Of course, falls into the Ace Chemicals, I guess,
Vat of chemicals.
Vat of chemicals?
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever you may call the container that holds these things.
The chemicals.
Yeah.
Anyway, comes out, is absolutely bonkers, off his nut. Another thing that goes for this guy, man, he has all the gadgets that you expect the Joker to have.
Yeah, that is true.
From the little flower that he has on his vest that's full of acid, to his little hand shocker that will just turn you to a fucking crisp.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
That's true.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and Jack Nicholson, he stayed true to the Joker, with his arrangement of outfits, outrageous gag weapons, and really gives us the best on-screen Joker that we've ever seen.
Okay.
Not bad for a bloke who was in his 50s.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's fair.
that's old.
That's fair. Amy?
Do you want to disagree now to
No,
that?
no. I'll come back and disagree.
Okay, he's saving
We'll
it.
argue that.
We'll
at the
argue
end.
that out later. That's cool.
All right, so I have Jared Leto.
Or Leto, depending on where you're from.
We're all from the same place.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yep. So I guess the biggest impression that Jared Leto brings off as the Joker is he's actually only on screen for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
And you, like it or not, he's imprinted into your memory. His portrayal of the Joker and his almost mafia gangster type appearance with his grill and all his tattoos and his pale white skin. And he's just sort of he's the boss.
Yeah.
He doesn't portray, like you were saying, in terms of gadgets and all that kind of thing. His cronies are really what makes him domineering, I guess. And the fact that he's a psychopath. But
it's kind of more very, very street level.
Yeah.
kind of.
It's sort of a different view, which I find refreshing in terms of we're seeing something different. And I guess he was following up in some big footsteps, and there was a lot of sort of controversy around him being cast. There was controversy when Heath Ledger was cast also.
Yeah, of course.
Similar things. But yeah, I feel like he differentiated himself and he left quite an impact on the press and on myself, even though, he's in there for a very small amount of time. Another thing we see is his relationship with Harley Quinn, I guess, which is something we sort of haven't really seen a side of now. I couldn't really decide if I loved it or hated it because he was sort of an abusive ass, but that's pretty much the Joker, I guess.
Yeah, look, I think he showed, though, that he did actually care for her.
When he saved her, and that's sort of not really a Joker type thing to do. So he sort of broke from the norm again there. And I mean, his laugh, is very different, and I loved it. It's probably one of my favorite Joker laughs ever. Because normally I've seen sort of his laugh as an instrument to sort of express his crazy moods. He's walking into a room and he's making sure everyone's looking at him.
That's like his calling card.
Yeah, whereas with Leto, it was sort of almost like a weapon, saying don't fuck with me. I'm making this crazy noise, but be very afraid.
I've got my heckles up.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
like
Like that scene with him in the middle of all his fucking knives and shit and just laughing like the crazy person that he is, really hit home. So I think he's probably one of the less true to the comic type Jokers.
Yep.
But probably one of the best Jokers I've seen.
Well, that's really interesting because you have to think this guy had 10 minutes on screen.
Exactly.
And he leaves such an impression on you.
Yeah.
You can't doubt that this guy might be the best Joker.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think you would have a case to argue had we have seen more
of him. And I think I read somewhere that quite a few of his scenes were actually cut.
Yeah.
Which sort of pissed me off because I would have liked to see a bit more, but then,
It is unfortunate. They did jam a lot into Suicide Squad as it was.
And I guess another thing too, talking about Suicide Squad, is he's in a movie full of bad guys.
Yeah.
And he's the big bad guy.
He stands out.
He stands out as the bad guy, being the Joker.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
Look, I would love to see him.
Me too. Standalone movie.
Opposite Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And I hope we do get to see it. And I hope we get to see a an extended cut of Suicide Squad so we can get some of those scenes that weren't in there.
Yeah.
Apparently there was one where he sort of confronted the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yes. Down in
and after the helicopter scene.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that would be something I would really love to watch. So anyway,
sure.
That's my argument. There you go.
Excellent.
And this is going to take us to Troy, who probably has the most famous Joker of all time.
I do, and I don't think it's just because of Heath Ledger's untimely passing, which some people do say. Would he be as big as he is if Heath Ledger hadn't have died after this performance?
Who's to know?
Who's to know? Exactly. But first of all, I think you've got to talk about Heath Ledger's performance. And before you get into the actual character itself, this is something where, I know Jared Leto went method, but this is method. This is kind of, locking yourself in a room and writing a journal and, just kind of really trying to get into the to the psyche of this character that is almost impossible to get into the psyche of, if that makes sense. You know, if how best to describe it, like to do it justice, I guess, is the hardest part. You know, he's bought a real sort of sociopathic kind of like genius level, just like a bringer of chaos, and that's kind of all he wants. He just wants chaos. There is no rhyme or reason like to him. Completely unconcerned with his own morality. All he kind of wants is to reveal Batman's true nature, and he kind of wants, as he says in the movie, like he wants the soul of Gotham, and he wants them all to see that chaos is really the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. He has probably the most menacing on-screen presence that is yet to be matched by not only any Joker but any villain, in my opinion. And let's not forget that we did do a top 5 villains, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he came out number 1.
Yes.
Didn't he?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Kade?
I couldn't tell you.
Totally forgot, man. I don't think it was.
I wasn't part of that.
From the moment you see him on screen, you're like, fuck. And I'm talking about from the moment. So when you go back and watch The Dark Knight, which I did, it's now that you know who he is, the first time you see him on the street, when he's just got the clown mask, and he's just holding it. You don't even see his face or anything like that before he hops in the car. The first time you see him, you're just like, fuck yeah. This guy is like, he is the shit.
Here we go.
Here we go. Exactly. I think his entrance into Bruce Wayne's penthouse party for Harvey Dent.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Honestly, one of my favorite scenes. And I think his interactions with everybody there, and then his interactions with Rachel, especially, and then his interactions with Batman after that, when Batman comes in, like, man, I thought that was so cool. He's created a character that is basically impossible to read, in the sense of, you know, I think with Alfred, sort of, you know, some men just want to watch the world burn sort of thing, where you just can't predict what he is going to do.
Well, the thing with that Joker is that he will... The famous thing of him saying, "Do you know how I got these scars?"
Yeah,
he tells a different story every time.
Exactly, and that's like one of my points. Was like, you never get a read on him.
Yeah,
you never understand what he was beforehand. You never find out.
He's a mystery.
He is. He's a mystery, and even the setup at the start, like with the bank job, and how he's basically set every single person up to kill the other person, and then he's left with just the bus driver to kill. Like, I think that's so cool. And it just points to how calculated and ruthless he is, and he doesn't give a shit about his own henchmen, doesn't give a shit about anything, just whatever it is that, you know, he is vying for, which I guess is chaos. He's impossible to provoke through physical measures, which I think when you take that away from Batman, that's a big thing. So there's the scene where Batman is kind of beating the shit out of him in the prison,
in the jail,
in the jailhouse, and he's kind of like, you know, like, you have nothing, you know, like, kind of. What does he say? Like, nothing to threaten me with, like nothing to do with all your strength.
Yeah.
And then he kind of puts Batman in this impossible position of having to choose between, you know, Harvey Dent and Rachel and all that sort of stuff. And it's just cold, calculated. I don't even like have to talk about the improvised clapping scene in the jail cell, like that sort of thing. I think not only does he place Batman in more difficult situations than he's ever been placed in any of these other movies or anything like that, but he also, by doing that, he actually makes the character of Batman himself grow. So Batman himself is better off for having the Joker in his life, and that's kind of the first time that you get a chance to see that kind of twisted, sort of codependent relationship.
Yeah,
that they
that's
have.
right. You need me, I need you.
Yeah, I think he says something like I believe, or I think you and I are destined to do this forever.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's cool as shit.
Yep.
So you guys can try all you want, but you cannot argue against this Joker. I don't care what
I agree
you
with
say.
that. And I guess are we into the talking now? Are you finished?
Well, we've got Cesar Romero to
Oh yeah. All right, I'll hold it.
Amy, you're
Jumping the gun.
You're jumping the gun.
Sorry, I'm getting excited.
My God. Caesar.
The look.
Caesar.
Cesar
Damn,
Romero.
Caesar.
Look,
Caesar, my boy.
again, so you're going back to this 60s, this really sort of camp style, and this was you know, it was the Joker, probably not so much as you would want the Joker to be, but it was very very fun, very like he's actually funny as shit. Like,
Yeah.
I obviously don't remember the show that well. Had to go back and look at a few like episodes and all that sort of stuff just to get a bit of an idea.
Yeah, well, he's very flamboyant.
Very flamboyant. What can you say? He's got the look.
He's got the look. This is a Joker that jokes.
Yeah, it's
That's
very
all you can
different
say.
in terms of the other Jokers who are sort of looking to cause harm or like almost, what's the word? Malevolent?
Malevolent.
Malevolent
Yeah.
intent. Whereas he's very much just a mischief maker.
Yes, that's
Yes.
the perfect way to put him.
He's the mischief maker.
You know, he's the guy that will like switch your toothpaste with
yeah,
something else.
stupid.
Yeah,
Like
and that's
acid toothpaste.
Yeah, yeah, well, exactly.
Still
Yeah.
harmful, but
It's still harmful, but like in a silly way. You know,
Yeah.
you'll see Batman put the toothpaste on, and like his toothbrush will be gone, and the
Yeah.
Joker be in the bush going, ha ha ha.
I've succeeded.
I think like this is like one of the things that I do kind of remember is his just the insane use of like props
Yes.
and things that they did with this particular character. I think there's one time where he busts out of jail by a big giant springboard. You know, and it's like it's mental. So while you know this guy would never like necessarily rate, he actually had a pretty cool laugh. Like the laugh itself, which as we know is iconic for the Joker.
Yeah.
And I didn't even speak about it with Heath Ledger because it doesn't really like it's not one of the things that Heath Ledger really sort of brings to the
No.
character. But Cesar Romero had a pretty sweet laugh, man.
Yeah.
I also read that he didn't want to shave his mustache off,
Okay,
so he kept firm to himself.
that's good.
There you
That's
go.
good.
Good for
Stand your
good for
ground.
you,
Good for him.
Caesar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, so hard to vote for as the best Joker of all time, but you know, again, on TV, man, he was cool for his time.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's obviously Heath Ledger will obviously take this.
Yes.
I mean, you know, we've got some new school going on with Jared Leto.
Yep.
Leto.
Leto. Tomato.
Lettuce.
Tomato.
But I
Because
think
it's
the
Leto.
issue
Yeah.
I had with Jared Leto is you didn't really see him go up against the Batman, I guess. Like
Yeah.
there was the car chase and then he was out of the car. Like it was just Harley Quinn left. Like there was never really this sort of face-to-face interaction, I
Yeah,
guess.
which
Yeah.
would have been really cool.
It would have
And
been
that's-
amazing.
Yeah, it's just like a circumstance, and that's
Yeah.
why it's hard to say that Joker may be the best. He
might be
in my
later,
opinion. I think
but
he's fantastic.
I
think,
loved him.
Yeah, I think he's the most menacing.
Yeah.
Even-
He's daunting to
yeah.
look at. Like just his appearance.
Yeah, exactly.
I am rolling my eyes, mind you.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but you know, different strokes for different folks.
Well, that's very true.
But yes, I do agree that Heath Ledger's probably, to date, the best.
Yeah, well, you're right in the sense that you know, like Leto, sorry, it had no time to really shine.
No.
The Dark Knight is as much the Joker's movie as it is Batman's.
Yeah.
and very, very similar to Batman as well. You actually see a lot more of Jack Nicholson and the Joker than you do of Michael Keaton as Batman in that particular movie until sort of later until the end when they're kind of coming face to face. But it's definitely the Joker's show for the first half of that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for someone to only have that much screen time and really sort of like bring it as much as he did, like I said, I'm excited for it. The only thing I didn't like about Jack Nicholson's Joker was that he had this real stupid, apart from the dancing, but he had he had this obsession with Vicky Vale that kind of almost was borderline, I'm going to do stupid things because I want this woman.
Yes.
Which is very, very uncharacteristic.
Not
of
It
Joker.
Joker.
is, and especially earlier in that movie, he is set up by his gangster boss for a woman.
For a woman,
Yeah.
exactly.
and he calls him out on it.
Yep.
You set me up for a woman.
Exactly.
So, yeah, he's man. what
And
a
then
hypocrite.
bit
basically exactly that. Yeah. So and then to do all the things that he did, basically to win the affections of Vicky Vale.
Yeah.
Very, very unjokerish to me. Yeah, Heath Ledger.
Heath
Yeah.
Ledger
Nice.
Yep.
done.
I'm just the
Excellent.
loser in this
You are.
game. Damn it.
I have no pep talk for you. Like,
I can't
you
help
have
you
lost.
there.
But you tried, kid.
Oh,
Hey,
well.
at least you tried.
Yeah.
There's a trophy. There's an at least you tried trophy for you.
Just a
But
sticker.
let's just for a second. Let's just think about this for a second. Then let's think about perhaps if we took the setting of the Dark Knight then, and we'd replace Christian Bale with Ben Affleck, and so we had Ben Affleck opposite Heath Ledger.
That would be amazing.
So good.
Oh man, that could be the story of how Robin gets killed.
Did you see the
for sure?
the
Imagine
fan
that.
theories about that? No.
No,
About the Joker being...
Like, no, that Jared Leto is sort of moving towards that sort of a storyline.
Really?
Like in terms of his Joker.
yeah.
Yeah, so I read that somewhere when I was doing a bit of research, but
Well, I hope so.
nothing,
I
nothing
hope-
confirmed. But
Yeah,
it's
well,
just
I think
a
there's going to
theory.
be obviously the backstories to some of these Batman movies
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah, and I hope with the fact that they show the suit and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like there has to be some payoff for that.
Yeah, you can't play me like that, man.
Yeah, I think a Ben Affleck, Heath Ledger, Christopher Nolan directed
Yeah.
Dark Knight would be fucking amazing.
That
So
would be
good.
really, really like you'd have to just go change your pants
I'd have to watch it every day.
every day.
Yeah.
yeah,
Actually, someone should do a supercut.
anybody out there that's really cool at that shit, do a supercut with Ben Affleck and whatever.
My
what's his name?
abilities
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Yeah, actually, someone do that, and we'll put it up on our Facebook page.
Yep, for
Yeah.
sure.
I would volunteer, but my abilities extend to paint.
Oh,
So,
excellent! Like Mario Paint.
yes.
Yeah, cool.
That was such a good game.
Yeah.
So yeah, if someone could do that, that'd be awesome. But just imagine that, man. That would be the
So
coolest
good.
shit. Because I think we can all be on agreement that regardless of whether it's Ben Affleck or Heath Ledger or anything like that, I think the best on-screen sort of Batman story we've had so far is The Dark Knight,
Yes.
for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
And literally for me, it's so close to a perfect movie.
Except for Christian Bale.
Bale's voice, man, just fucked it for me.
And that belt.
The belt.
No, that was cool.
No.
I
Like
didn't mind the belt.
everything else is fine. I didn't like the fact that he changed his cowl. Like I get it, like to have more neck flexibility and all that sort of stuff. It makes sense. I just didn't really like the look of the suit in the end.
I didn't like the look of his suit, period. It looked like a fucking action figure.
No, Ben Affleck's suit is much better. In
Yeah.
my
Oh, it's
opinion.
cool as shit.
Yeah.
He looks jacked as fuck.
Yeah, he does. I wonder if he's as jacked under there.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
See, that's why it's so hard to believe that both Christian Bale and Ben Affleck would be Bruce Wayne because they're just two
Massive.
handsome fucking jack dudes.
Well, that's the thing too, I guess, in terms of like their identities. Like you just take the mask off, they're like, you bear a striking resemblance in body shape to the Batman.
Yeah. Also, your jaw and that mole that you have on the side of your
Yeah.
nose, Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that's you, champ.
You know, Christian Bale probably could never go out into public if he had like a sore throat.
Well,
Yeah.
nah.
You know, he just, hey,
I'm Christian Bale.
No, you're not. You're Batman, champ.
no, I'm not.
I've heard
Don't
you.
lie to
No,
me.
I'm totally not.
I'm Bruce Wayne.
All
But
right.
anyway,
Excellent.
Anywho.
Let us know what you think. Who's the best on-screen Batman? Who's the best on-screen Joker? Let us know if you agree, disagree, anything like that. Would love to hear what you think.
and that means it's time for our final segment, Get to Know Your Favorite Hero, brought to you by Kasplat Comics and Collectibles. Immerse yourself in other worlds at kasplatcomics.com.au, or you can visit their Facebook page, Kasplat Comics and Collectibles. Check them out. We'll leave a link in our show notes as well.
Yes, we will.
We do that all the bloody time.
We do. Hey, you guys, read our show notes.
Yeah,
there's
there's
heaps of
stuff
stuff
down
in
there.
Do it.
Look, we've probably spoken about these comics numerous times over the 30-odd episodes that we've done, so I'll keep it brief. But here are our top 3 comics featuring Batman and everybody's favorite clown prince of crime. I knew I'd stuff that up.
Close.
The Joker.
Number 3.
Number 3 is Joker's Five-Way Revenge from Batman Volume 1, number 251, written by Denny O'Neil and with art by Neil Adams, and it's probably the first real representation of the Joker as we know him today. A sociopathic menace with no regards for anyone around him and hell-bent on defeating the Bat. What it also shows is the twisted view he has of his relationship with Batman and kicks off their never-ending cycle of almost codependence. It's a wonderful story, restoring the true character of the Joker, and is genuinely iconic in its artwork with some fantastic penciling from Adams. If you can get your hands on it, it is a must-read.
Number 2.
Number 2 is A Death in the Family, written by Jim Starlin with art by Jim Aparo. A Death in the Family shows just how far the Joker is willing to go in his war with the Batman and leads to the death of Jason Todd by now infamous crowbar savagery. But did you know this? Todd's fate was sealed by a phone poll in which DC asked its readers to decide whether Jason Todd should live or die, and just like that, with a landslide victory, the then unpopular Jason Todd's fate was sealed by angry Dick Grayson fans the world over.
I did know that.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I did not, so thank you for informing me.
Comic book and trivia stuff. Things.
Coming straight to you.
Just straight in your ear holes.
And that's going to take us to number 1.
Number 1 is, of course, The Killing Joke, written by Alan Moore and with art by Brian Bolland. Honestly, not a lot else needs to be said, but I will say that this is probably generally the consensus number 1 with fans around the world. If you're one of the few people who hasn't read this yet, please do. Do yourself a favor, though. Don't watch the animated movie first. Read this comic.
as
Yeah.
with all things.
And it's a
mostly.
pretty small
Yeah.
comic, you know. You get
Oh,
through
man.
it in friggin' 10 minutes.
You knock it out real quick. But it's awesome, man. The story is great. The artwork is fantastic. You can pick it up anywhere. It's like so popular. So yeah, do it.
Do it
Do it.
now.
Do it now. Look, that's going to do it for another episode, I believe.
It is.
Stay tuned, you guys.
Yeah, next week is a big week.
It is a
Sure
big
is.
week. We have our Marvel vs. DC round 3.
Ding, ding, ding.
And look, I think Marvel needs to make a bit of a comeback because I believe it's down 2-0.
2?
Yes.
Yes, 2.
They got to get their shit together.
And just a heads up, guys, this is going to be a five round thing?
Yeah, it's going to be. We're going to go for 5 rounds, and then we'll probably bury it.
Yeah.
I think we'll think of something else. But it's really cool. We really enjoy doing these episodes, and we get you guys involved on Twitter as well, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, we've got some great matches coming up.
Yeah, we do. A
We
lot of
sure
people are
do.
voting this time round.
Yeah, they love this shit.
Yeah, hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Literally hundreds of them.
Literally.
The
tens
world
of
over.
people.
Yeah,
Tens of people.
tens of me on my different Twitter accounts.
Yes.
No, look, we have had a fantastic response to this, and I do appreciate everything that everyone does. Just like I appreciate everyone that listens to the show, reviews the show, and subscribes to us as well.
Yeah.
Reviewing, it's important. But
It is
make-
important.
But just make sure that you leave some stuff that we can read out, because we do enjoy reading them out.
Yeah, we read
I think
it
we're
out.
behind in a couple, but we'll
Yeah,
get there.
we are a little bit behind, but we do read every single one that you guys write. We read some out on the show sometimes. We even post them on Facebook.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And speaking of Facebook, segue, follow us on that
Yeah.
thing.
Do it.
Comic Confidential Podcast. Yes, Instagram and Twitter at Comic Con Pod, and also on YouTube. Search Comic Confidential, hit subscribe, and you'll have access to all of our shows.
Become part of the notification squad.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing.
No, it
Neither
is.
do I.
It is.
Is it?
Is
You-
it?
You guys just aren't like big YouTubers, are you?
I don't even know.
I'm
what
like,
YouTube
subscribe.
I mean,
is.
I watch like Ellen on YouTube
What?
and this.
What? You watch Ellen on YouTube.
Yeah, I do.
You better download this on your podcast app.
What?
You have subscribed, right?
I have subscribed.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's all
Yes, I have. I even did the search bar.
There you go.
Look out.
It's in my favorites.
It's in your favorites. Don't forget, we do have the website. That's comicconpod.com. If you want to support the show, help us grow, help us get better equipment, help us expand to new shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
help us release a range of hashtag branded T-shirts, perhaps.
It needs to
That
happen.
I'm desperately trying to make happen.
Well, actually,
Kate's
don't-
looking at me with
we-
blank eyes.
No, we are trying to make that happen, but we are having no luck with supplies.
Yeah.
We want to get these shirts done as cheaply as possible for you guys.
We want you guys to have the cheapest shit possible.
Well, actually, that's probably
That's a terrible thing to say.
Poor
choice
wording,
of words.
but-
we want to make them as
We want the
affordable.
value. Yeah,
Value.
exactly.
Yeah, we want to make them
Value for money.
because I can go get shirts done anywhere. I want some good quality shit that's affordable for everyone.
Like we
Yeah.
could screen print them ourselves, but you probably wouldn't.
You don't
want
want
them.
that.
I haven't
So-
screen printed in years, and
Neither.
I don't want to do that. It's terrible and it's messy.
Yep.
But anyway, if you jump on the Patreon, we'll sort
Do
that,
that.
out. There's a whole bunch of perks on there. There is shirts available on there if you do the right price. Helps us grow,
etc.
etc. We've got the Loot Crate. Jump on there if you want to get some Loot Cratey goodness. Do believe there's a discount. Don't quote me on that.
Yep.
There is.
And we also have a network.
We have
the
a
Comic Confidential Network.
Yes.
And there are some big things coming for that. Stuff that we're currently in, working on.
Yes, currently recording some things.
Yes, we are. Woohoo. A little bit of a
Little insider tip there.
little insider
you heard it
information.
first.
So we're doing all that sort of stuff. I'm really excited for what's to come. Let me tell you. You guys can be too.
Okay.
Yeah, you should
into
be.
it.
Thank you for allowing that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And speaking of excited, that's a terrible segue. But I'm excited to announce the Advisory Podcast is part of the network. It's the best I could do. So check them out. The Advisory Podcast. James and Todd are hilarious as fuck. And that's an actual confirmation of how hilarious they are. And they're also on Twitter at Advisory Podcast.
Check them out. They're pretty good.
And our website.
Yeah, they're on our
again.
website. They're always on our website.
Exactly. Look, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
we're there.
Thanks for listening, everyone. As always, I am Troy,
I'm Kade.
And I'm Amy.
and this has been Comic Confidential.
Cheers.
Peace.
Peace.
Yes.
Oh,
Did you take my... Oh, you took my piece.